Right then, United and Solskjaer are in a little bit of a predicament. The first choice goalkeeper question we thought might bubble up this season. We thought this was going to be a very pivotal season, and I think the circumstances and the way the season has evolved and developed has probably added fuel to the fire of a potential passing of the guard for Manchester United's goalkeeper. Now, Solskjaer stated a couple of months ago that David knows that Dean Henderson is a fantastic keeper, and Dean knows that David is a fantastic keeper. So the two of them are fighting for one spot. It goes without saying, but it is accurate in terms of what he's coming out with there. Now, there's an argument all over the place, and it's completely split the United fan base in terms of who should be number one. So I thought, let's have a look into the stats, and let's try and see if we can figure out who should be United's number one goalkeeper. Now, De Gea, along with Phil Jones, is United's longest-serving player in the squad. So Alex Ferguson brought him to Old Trafford back in June 2011 for £18.9 million when he was just 20 years of age. Safe to say that Dave had a tough start to his career at Manchester United, but major improvements happened in his first couple of seasons, and he soon became the main man in goal. Smashed it. He also appeared to be one of the best goalkeepers on the planet just a few years ago, which is difficult to sort of digest at the moment, but factually he was. He was United's Player of the Year in 2013-14, a real bright spark in a definitely dark period of time for Manchester United. He became the first goalkeeper to win United's Player of the Year award. He went on to be United Player of the Season for the next 2 seasons, meaning that he was the first player ever to win it in 3 consecutive seasons. Herrera briefly took it home for a little bit in 2016-17, and after that, De Gea retained it again in the 17-18 season, meaning that he's won it more times than any other player in United's history, which is nuts to think about. He was also named the PFA Team of the Year for 13, 15, 16, 17 and 18 seasons, and he was named in the FIFA World 11 in 2018. Not sure how, because he was quite poor at the World Cup, but he was still named in it. Whilst at United, he's obviously helped us to win 1 Premier League, 1 FA Cup, 1 League Cup, and 1 Europa League. Over the past year, he's come in for a lot of criticism and question marks over his performances, meaning that it's still massively up for debate who should be United's number one. Now, after 2 very good seasons out on loan at Sheffield United, Dean Henderson returned to United this year to fight for his place to become United's number one. During his first season at Sheffield United, he helped them secure promotion to the Premier League. He won the club's Young Player of the Year award, as well as the Championship Golden Gloves, keeping 20 clean sheets across the season. In 2019, he did sign a new contract with United, keeping him at the club until June 2022, and he returned back on loan to Sheffield United for their Premier League campaign. And his efforts in goal massively helped them. And when you see what they've been like this season without him, you can see how much he helped them. They managed to secure a pretty impressive 9th place, and they also finished in 4th place for the least amount of goals conceded. A lot of that, not all of it, but a lot of that was on Dean Henderson's shoulders. In August, he was added to United's senior squad for the first time, and he signed a new long-term contract that would keep him at United until 2025. And he's been given opportunities in the Cups throughout the season, but recently he's had a run of several games due to De Gea's paternity leave, which came at a bit of a coincidental time, it must be said, but I think it's all above board and legit with that. Let's have a look at the stats. So start with De Gea then. All competitions this season, he's played 29 games, conceded 37 goals, giving us a 1.3 goals per game or per 90 average. 10 clean sheets in those 29. In the Premier League, 24 games, 9 clean sheets, 2.29 saves per game, save success of 65%, and he's also got 6 punches, 2 high claims, 75% pass completion and 1 error leading to a goal. Henderson, all competitions, 19 games played, 13 goals conceded. Average goals conceded per 90 is 0.69. 12 clean sheets in just 19 appearances. Very good. His Premier League, he's played 6 games. He's got 3 clean sheets, 3.17 saves per match, save success of 86%, 3 punches, 3 high claims, and a 66% pass completion. But he's also got an error leading to a goal. Now, this graph came out earlier in the week showing the Big Five UEFA leagues, and it's showing that Henderson's one of the best performing shot stoppers across all of Europe's top 5 leagues. Clearly well ahead of David De Gea, who's quite an ordinary goalkeeper, according to the stats on this, at least. A few weeks ago, I posted this to Twitter. We're just going to give you the screenshots of it because we can't play the video. But the same sort of cross, not identical, but it's as near as damn as what you're going to get when you're trying to compare the sort of impact two goalkeepers have. De Gea stayed rooted to his line, didn't come for it. Maguire should have dealt with it. That's by the by. The goalkeeper has got his whole arm length on top of what a player can do with his head. He comes and claims that. And then we see Dean Henderson coming out and claiming that. And actually, it's worth mentioning, Dean Henderson started a counter-attack with this, which he's done several occasions now. Obviously, the pass out for Luke Shaw in the derby being probably a particular highlight of that. That area of his game aside, I think Dean's bravery in the box and his command of the 6-yard box is levels better. I think De Gea's shot stopping is probably levels better than Henderson's. I don't actually think either of them are perfect. I think De Gea suited United when United wanted to be a less possession-based side. The more we want to be a possession-based side, and I think actually the rule change in terms of how you start to play out from the back, neither of them are experts at it. Neither of them are what you'd call best in class at that. Both of them have areas that they need to improve on and they need to fix in terms of playing out from the back. But I think the mistakes and the lack of bravery in De Gea in how he comes and claims for balls, he's having a negative impact on the rest of the back four. And given the choice between those two alone, I think I'm really leaning towards Dean Henderson in terms of who should be starting on a regular basis for United. Now, you also think back to the teething problems that we have with De Gea when he first joined. I think Dean should be allowed the same sort of teething problems. And even if the problems are quite minor with Dean Henderson at the moment, I think if you allow him the same sort of bedding in period that De Gea was allowed, and you see a similar sort of rise in performance on the back end of that, then he might only just be this much ahead of De Gea at the moment, but theoretically could get levels above. I'm not sure De Gea turns this around from now. And I think he's in one of those things where he perhaps needs a change of scenery. The problem is United have made him the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, and I don't think his performances certainly warrant him being the highest paid goalkeeper in the world. Yet more mismanagement at Manchester United, which means that the club's probably going to suffer because of decisions that we've made in the past. That's my thought. I could be right. I could be wrong. It has happened before. Rare, but it's happened. Let me know your thoughts. Don't just put the name of the player. Give me, I think it is, and here's why. And I'll have a read and reply to some of those. And let's see what you guys think. Is it De Gea? Is it Henderson? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. Let me know who you want me to have a bit of analysis on next, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.